Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter. It is Monday morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're joining us from, but we got people jumping into the chat here at the XD Daily Challenge. We got Tanya in the chat, Cornell, and Sam Peterson is moderating. Tell me where you're coming from. What did you do this weekend? Throw me an emoji that represents what you did. Maybe it's a bed, you got some sleep. Maybe it's some food, you had some good grub. Maybe you went for a hike. I don't know. Throw me an emoji in there, just like Kyle and Umacorn is going to do, and Dima, Imad. Hello to everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, come on over to Behance. That's where the action is at. That's where we do these XD Daily Creative Challenges. Speaking of this challenge, what is it? We're going to head over to behance.net/challenge/XD. That's where you find out more. Hit that big blue button to get started. Scroll on down. You can see each of these 9 challenges that we do to increase our skills in UI design, UX design, Adobe XD. Today's challenge is challenge number 5. That's a streaming dashboard with lots of video and all sorts of awesome stuff inside of it. Grab that starting file, watch the video, make sure you scroll down a little further to chat with the community over here in Discord. That is where you can post your work, find mentors, get feedback, and get featured on this stream at the end of the stream. We'll be doing a double dose of feedback on work because we didn't get as much done last Friday. So we want to make sure we do double time. Hey, speaking of moving double time, what a sweet segue was that. Let's move double time over to our design files, our starting file for the day. Again, our challenge is a mobile streaming dashboard. Lots of looping video, maybe some scroll groups that would impress the biggest movie fan. That's that word cinephile right there. Just learned that word. What a fun word. Got some inspiration and some resources down there in the booklet. Just kind of toggle between the different components and component states. And we have some starting artboards. On our starting artboards, we have 2, I believe they're iPhone 11 or 12 size artboards. And we have some imagery in there. We got some stuff already kind of built. We have the starts to a mobile navigation with kind of like a kind of in-your-face red kind of color to represent streaming. And we already have some movie posters. Over on, that's our dashboard screen. Over on our detail screen, we have almost like a rough kind of like wireframe of what's going to be there. And so just kind of a little bit of a rough layout. We also have on my desktop, I have a series of images that you'll see. Some of them are new, some of them are old, some of them are just my favorite movies, but some nice movie poster stuff in there. And I also have a bunch of previews or videos of all of these movies that we're going to use today. Now, you might ask yourself, how do you get a hold of these movies, Jesse? Well, I just download them from the web, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim them in whatever kind of like video editing software that you have, because they have to be under 15 megabytes to load into Adobe XD. And I just want some looping kind of shots of the video. I don't want to play the whole movie. I don't need that. I just need some small loops. So that's what I did to prep the file. You can prep some of your own favorite posters and favorite trailers. And let's get started. All right, so we have Matrix at the top here, and this is our dashboard. So we want to see lots of stuff on this dashboard, but we also want to have some looping video in here. Before we do that, though, let's just bask in the glory that is masked shapes with images inside, because as I mess with the size of them, they kind of crop and fill and all of that stuff naturally. So let's find where we like these. And then I'm going to, with a very stuffed up nose because I have allergies, I'm going to mess with the kind of the size of the rounding. Do we want it to be like really crisp and straight? Do we want it to be really round and bubbly? We could go individual stuff. I'm going to go pretty bubbly today. I don't usually, but let's have some fun. Let's go like 26, like 26 pixels on the border radius there. And I'm actually going to do something here really quickly. I'm going to group these all together. I'm going to put them in a stack. And that allows me, if you notice here, it allows me to control the spacing between my elements. Wow, I cannot talk today because of these allergies. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to sneeze pretty soon. Thank you, cedar fever. That's a thing. And I'm able to adjust the spacing between every single one of the elements here. I'm so stuffed up. And I can do that without doing it individually. Okay, so that's just a nice thing. The other cool thing about this is anytime we add, excuse me, I'm going to sniff real quick. Yikes. Anytime we add more elements inside of our stack, they're just going to, you guessed it, stack right up with that same exact spacing This is what the great thing is about stacks. And if you choose later on that you don't want this horizontal stack anymore, maybe you want a vertical stack, well, you can just slap it over to vertical, and we can also add some padding if we put things inside of groups, which we are not doing right now, but that is there for you as well. Okay, let's load this up with a couple other movies. And you know, you might think, maybe we should put some hover effects, but this is mobile, so we don't need any sort of hover effects. But let's drop a couple extra movies in there, like we love Brave. I love Merida. Strong, awesome, amazing, talented female lead there. Let's do one more. And you do have to be careful with where you place these things, because stacks can switch and change like their kind of vertical spacing, but that's okay. Everything looks good there. Let's put one more inside. We had The Martian maybe, or Jaws. Let's do Jaws, because why wouldn't you do Jaws? Okay. Now with that being said, we've just kind of placeholdered the like the posters or the images there. We're going to replace those with videos in a little bit, I promise you that. But let's move these up just a little bit like this. And this is our continue watching. So actually, I'm going to do something real quick. Maybe we'll get rid of a few of those on the end. We'll save those for later. But the other thing we could do here is we could create a component out of each one of these. If you want to, you absolutely could, right? So you have your movie poster. What do you usually have down below? You usually have the title of the movie that you were watching earlier, like Blade Runner. This is Blade Runner 2049, not the original, but the sequel, the long-awaited sci-fi sequel, masterpiece. Okay, so we can put that over there, and you choose. Is 14 too big? Probably. Let's go with 12 to make sure that we have room for the rest of our titles. And do you want to butt it all the way up against the poster? No, you don't want to do that, but let's kind of zoom in a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 pixels. I like things that are divisible by 4, 8. I like to use the 8 pixel grid if I'm really spending a lot of time. Let's create a progress bar really quickly, shall we? So I'm just going to hit R for rectangle, and let's just line this up with the edge of our poster and bring it down like so. Okay, we'll take the border off this thing, and we will keep it white, but we'll take the opacity of it down a little bit. Okay, and again, we want everything to be pretty round, so just round at those corners like so. I'm going to Command or Control CV, copy and then paste to do another version on top. And I'm just going to take my filler or my color picker, and I'll just, whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. Let's just move it back there. I just held down Command and Shift, and I can nudge things around by 10. All right, so let's say we were watching a little bit of Blade Runner, and we'll just do that about 6 pixels away from there. I like that. Okay, now we can group this together. Excuse me for the sniffles, apologize. And we can just make sure that we are putting these inside with the rest of our films. Okay, so let's come inside we have a group, right? Let's group it again really quickly. And you know what, let's not group it again. I was gonna say let's do that, but let's put our where did it go here? I'm going to grab our information about our movie poster and our movie poster. And now we should, why isn't it working? I tell you what, let's copy this really quickly. And let's paste it right here really quick. It's trying to really badly honor all the work that we've done. But we don't want to do that. So we're gonna remake these really quickly. And that's actually good, because what we'll do is we'll take the time and we will put the videos in there from now on. All right, now we can group it together. In our groups panel, we can, our layers panel, we can call this movie poster, something like that. That's not how you spell poster, but that's okay. And we can come in and rebuild this section. Now we have progress meters. We could rebuild that in our stack, okay, if we want to. So Command C, Command V. Let's do a little bit of spacing here. Yeah, 20 pixels works. Group it together, toss on the stack, duplicate a couple more of these, and now we are running. Okay, so let's just do 3 to save a little bit of time, and to add a little variation, we'll add the progress bar, and we will move these things around a little bit. All right, now instead of using the video, instead of using the images, let's use the video. Let's just arrange these by kind really quickly, and let's do Blade Runner here. Now, if you haven't worked with video yet, it's a lot of fun. Okay, I'm gonna just drag, and before I do anything here, I'm just gonna make sure all of these have a fill that is just a, whoa, watch out now. I just wanna make sure that my image has a fill of a color. That's it. Because if it has something else, sometimes the video has a little bit of trouble going in there. So let's just give it this nice bright red here. Take my Blade Runner video, and now you see just like an image, we can drop that in there, and there is the video. Okay, let's do the next for another movie. What do we got? Brave, sure. What do we got? Deadpool, drop it in. Why not? Okay, now you're getting the actual, like a clip, a thumbnail generated of the video right there inside, but we can edit that. If you haven't played with video, this is so much fun. Here we go. I'm gonna click on it, and you can see that it's now created a masked group that has the video right there. So we want to make sure we go inside of that masked group and actually grab the video. Okay, so if you drop it into a shape, you're going to get a masked group. If you just drop it loose somewhere on the canvas, you're just going to get the video. Interesting to note, that's a little bit different. Okay, but with our video selected, okay, let's bring this over here in view so everyone can see. We have some video options: play on tap, play automatically, no playback. We can edit the playback too. We don't need to do that. Let's just play automatically. And then we have a couple more options here. We want to loop the playback, and we want to give it a thumbnail. Okay, so with that selected, we can just go up here to Blade Runner and make sure that that is our thumbnail. Okay, now something interesting to note is when you are messing with video, it's going to pop it in with a size there, right? Obviously, but then whatever imagery that you put in there, it's going to match the size. See how it's all masked in here in this size? If I change this, I'm changing the size of the video as well. That's okay. We're just all about getting that imagery in there for now. Okay, so let's go here. We'll do a little bit of a similar thing. We'll say automatically, loop it. Let's go grab the Brave poster, pop it in there. A little bit like that, okay? And let's see if we can't. Yes, okay. All right. It's a little wonky as far as like the imagery that we're getting there for the poster, but that's okay. We're gonna play automatically. Boom, video. Want to loop that thing. And now the way you can get around that is by changing your video, right, to be like a certain size and whatnot. But that's okay. Now let's go ahead and press play. Oh, one more thing. We have our matrix main kind of shot up here. Let's go into that mask group. We can see that's video, and it's playing automatically, and we have it looping the whole thing. You can also trim and do different stuff in there, but let's press play and let's see what we got so far. Okay. All right. So that's playing automatically. I don't know, for some reason our stuff down here is not playing automatically. So we'll fix that in a minute. Let's figure it out, okay? But before we do that too much, we do have this navigation down here, and I was gonna create a whole separate navigation. Let's not do that. We won't even mess with that for right now, okay? And let's figure this out. I'm gonna draw another rectangle here. We're gonna play. Let's troubleshoot together a little bit, shall we? I'm gonna grab a video, like a Deadpool video. I'm gonna pop it inside. Okay, and I'm going to draw a whole nother artboard over here just so we can test a few things out. All right, so now we should have our Deadpool video here. Let's press play on this, and it should play once we click it. Okay, let's change this video to autoplay like we were messing with. Automatically play, loop that thing. It's all in this space though, right? It's hard because I have 16:9 aspect ratio video, and I have tall poster size kind of elements on top. That's okay. That's all right. We'll deal with it, okay? So let's go back to the video, and let's choose a thumbnail and see why the ones that we have are not playing well. They're not playing nicely, are they? So let's just press play. We get auto playing video. Okay. All right. So it's working there. It should work over yonder in our initial artboard. Maybe it just takes a second to load. Sometimes that can be the case when you have a lot of video. So in the meantime, let's do this. Let's add a scroll group to this bad boy. I'm going to come over here to the right-hand side, and thank you, XD, for giving me some tips. We're just going to turn on a horizontal scroll group, and I want to make sure that when I do scroll groups that I bring it all the way to the edge, right? I don't want all my elements to disappear randomly on the screen. I want them to go all the way past, okay? And if you feel like you're not getting the desired result out of your scroll groups, I'll show you a little trick here in a second. For instance, we have our scroll group. Now we're able to scroll side to side. But if you want a little extra space here, just a little extra space, let's say, well, then a really easy thing to do is to come into your scroll group. Let's add another element really quickly here. something like this, and then we'll make the whole thing invisible. Okay, now you have another element there, and you can control the size of it. It's almost like just a spacing element, and it doesn't even have to be another exact same thing, right? We could come in here, and we have movie poster, come in here and delete that, and instead we could draw a rectangle inside, something like this, and just space it down like so, and grab the whole group and make sure we have the same spacing. Beautiful. See my little spacer there? All I have to do is make it go opaque, drop the size of it, and then we are now controlling how much space we get here when we scroll. So that's just a little bit of a trick for you if you are interested in utilizing it. All right, but I'm going to bring this over a little bit more and make sure that my scroll group goes all the way to the edge. Now everything is looking perfect for me. All right, so my scroll group's working good. Our looping video is not working the greatest, so I have a quick troubleshoot. Let's just play this to play on tap. How about that? Play on tap. Okay, so play on tap. One more. Let's do this. Play on tap. Okay, cool. Let's try pressing that now. Previewing it. All right, so we're getting a little bit of playback on all of our movie stuff. Okay, pretty fun, pretty cool. Now let's just go in one more time and make sure that our matrix thing is playing automatically. Okay, now let's just do an easy transition over to our detail screen, and let's build out our detail screen. We got a couple more minutes. We're making all right time, even though we're troubleshooting things. It's always troubleshooting that can go on. Everyone said, is everyone talking about the Matrix? Has anybody watched the new Matrix? I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't my favorite Matrix film, but that's okay because we love Keanu. We love Keanu, and we will forgive any little mistakes made through that fourth Matrix film. But I did see the new Spider-Man, also pretty amazing. Not going to lie to you, it's pretty epic. All right, with that being said, I'm going to drag in, not that, but I'm going to get my movie for the Matrix. So let's drag our Matrix movie in here, movie file. You can see that as I'm playing with the sizing of things, it's readjusting the size or the crop of my movie, which is 16:9 aspect ratio. See that? So you could do, if you have an interface that's, let's say, needs square video, you can jump over to something like Adobe Premiere, bring your preview in there, crop it to a square kind of crop, export that thing, and now you have the perfect crop that maybe you need, right? If you want to do something like that, you totally can. All right, so let's just make sure that our movie is playing right there. Let's press play, and we do get playback on press, but let's just do this one automatically when we get here. And let's do one more thing. We do want to update the we want to update like so. Okay, beautiful. All right, now we have a kind of a gradient at the top in case we needed anything like a back button or our streaming button, which should probably be white, but I think I kind of want it to fade out in the bottom as well. So I'm going to copy and paste a new version of this and turn it around, and we want our movie to kind of fade out. Now I'm keeping that whole thing on top so that it looks like everything's fading out, right? I can grab the whole thing if I want to and group the whole thing together and just call it top and keep everything organized there. That's working pretty well. So now we have playback, but it's like the movie's kind of disappearing right out to the side. So pretty nice. I'm into it. Let's grab our movie really quickly and just make sure that we're centering it and popping the size of it up like so. Okay, that's more bleed, like full edge, like full bleed end to end there. Now let's bring the title of it, and we want to make sure that's above everything inside of our layers panel, because we now have some transparency there. We can say, we get matrix, there it is, Matrix Resurrection. How do you spell that? Like that. I'm just copy and paste, that way we don't have to respell. All right, let's bring those down and pop that up, and we can add a couple of little details. Now we can put the name here. What else could we put? A nice big continue watching. That might be good. So let's do a button really quickly. A nice big bright red continue watching button. I'm gonna take that same red color from our progress bars and our button. I'll turn the border off, no need for it. And I will round the corners so that it's not quite a pill button, but close. Nice and round and bouncy, right? Okay, I'm going to take some text. Let's grab some text from here. Come in and make a button. That is a really big button. Very big. So let's just tone it down a little bit And this is some really big text. We're going to continue tone that down as well. Continue watching. That I cannot spell today, but thank you, Adobe XD, for the spell check. I need that. Okay, let's go here. And I have a low battery. Hoping we don't run out of battery. Did not plug in my charger before I started my stream, because why would I do such a thing as that? All right, so we're on a detail page, so we can actually drop the main navigation. That works pretty well. We have this nice bright thing in there. And really quickly, before we leave our other page over here, let's do another section down here and make sure that both of these are dropped behind. That's starting to look a little bit more like a streaming app, isn't it? So these could be like a sci-fi category, like so. Make sure we left align the text and just line it up with the left-hand edge here. Beautiful. And just to speed things up a little bit, let's fill it with a color or something. That's not working, is it? I'm going to delete the movie. Good. And I'm going to come back in here. Let's not do that. We'll just leave that for now. Okay. And we got a little bit of time left. We're doing all right. We're making all right time. Let's go. We'll reuse some of this text here and pop it right above. We're center align that text and just say, what is it? New movie. Okay. Something like that. And then we could put some details about like the movie in here if we want, or we could put where you last left off, or we could do a couple of other fun things. Like for instance, we have our continue watching button down there. Let's do an E for an ellipse, and let's have a couple other people who are going to watch this movie with us. Like let's do a watch party, shall we? So I'll take the border off of it. How's my battery doing? We're all right for now. Actually, I'll put a border back on. I'm going to make this border white. And I'm going to stretch a few of these out and overlap them like so. Now let's go open a plugin that I should have installed called, let's do, I was going to do UI faces. There it is, UI faces. And let's just apply some random faces inside of our shapes. Plugins for the win inside of Adobe XD. Love it. All right. Where do we find the videos at? Tanya says, well, you find them. I feel like I'm not allowed to say. You just download them. There's YouTube downloaders, but use it wisely. With great power comes great responsibility, okay? And for some reason, our UI Faces plugin's not working. So we're going to abandon ship on the UI Faces plugin and try one more time. Select photos. Let's go UI Faces. You could do this. You could do this. Is my internet going real slow? I don't know. We are wasting time, though. I'll tell you what, we're going to abandon ship. We're having a plugin error. That just means I need to probably update my plugin. Check it out. Okay. Let's bring another one of these kind of columns or sections here, and we'll say similar movies. I'm going to make sure that I left align things. My new favorite movie is Encanto by Disney, so I should have put that in here. So we could do some similar movies in here. That works. Let's do that. Okay. And then, it'd be good. Let's just do a full-blown watch, like a watch screen, right? So once we press here, we'll just get the full-blown movie inside. And we just got to get into our mask. Yep. And make it like this. Let's get all of our gradients off, and we'll be able to just start watching it. Okay. Quick prototyping. Super fast, super speed. Here we go. We're going to tap here on our movie, and it will do a simple transition. We don't want to dissolve. Let's slide to the left. And then once we hit continue watching, we will just dissolve. We'll just do a straight dissolve, and we should be good. All right, let's press play here and see our prototype. We got some previews going. We could tap and see more previews. But if we click here, we're going to slide over and see the movie, continue watching, and we could get a totally different clip and pop in. And all right, with that said, we got a little bit of battery and a little bit of time left. We got some time to review some work very, very fast. This is the Apple Watch Interface Challenge. This is SK Arif Hassan. Beautiful mock-up, the intertwined kind of bands. I love that. And the interface is real sleek looking. I'm just going to stay here and look at this for a second because it's nice and calming, nice and easing. I like the background image. Totally on point. The juice bar challenge that we did from, I think it was Thursday's challenge, was make your own juice. Challenge number 3. I like the illustration style. I like the color choices. I would say maybe be careful of using this much color because it might become hectic for where you want the user to look, right? So maybe streamline and simplify your use of color so that the user has a better experience. But I do like it a lot. I'm really digging. Oh, we got a little interaction stuff going on here. Okay, getting after it. It fills up, right? We move. Oh, I got some movement on like the fruits as they kind of move out. That's dragon fruit, right? Ooh, when's the last time you had dragon fruit? I love this. I like these colors especially are really, really fun. That's a great one. This is by Jiaji Wang, and this is a mobile ordering app. Back to that kind of juice app. See, this is nice, clean. It's got the black buttons. It lets the color do the talking for the fruit itself. I'm into it. I like it a lot. All right. Oh, we can play here a little bit. So we're swiping and we're clicking, and that's kind of working. Do we add it to the juice? Oh, we got some, I bet you that's a Lottie animation. Doesn't that look good? Oh, I love it. Great job. Great work on that one. This is Karima A. This is the watch interface. Very clean. I can already tell this looks very native. Really, really like professional looking for this like prototype. Let's click on calendar. We have different calendar appointments. Good. It would have been fun to be able to like drag the line or drag the calendar up and down in there. That would have been super fun. I like that. Super fun. Let's do one more, and this is by Lauren Stanton. This is all we got time for, and then we're going to run out. Lauren Stanton has an Apple Watch interface. Oh, it's so black. It's so clean. It's like Batman's wristwatch. It's so sick. I love all just the table cell rows. That's what I meant to say there. And the purple is rocking with a little 3D transform and the prototype that's embedded. Very mixed media, very beautiful. Hey, that's it for the day, everybody. We got to get out of here. Thanks for joining me on Monday's Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Do yourself a favor, do some homework, submit your work, get it featured. Meet me right back here, same time, same place, tomorrow, here on Adobe Live's XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'll see you later.